Hey guys, welcome back. This week we're going to talk about the dark side of being too positive. There's a quarantine in America right now. Not sure if you were aware. Well, in my county where I live, it is just extended to June 3rd, although we'll see what actually happens. People may be protesting this. The Quint Cordair Gallery in Napa is saying that they're going to open their doors next Monday as a form of nonviolent protest. I may have to go join them in solidarity. But I think there's an even more dangerous quarantine right now. Yeah, the quarantine's leading to some economic downturn, perhaps a depression, but a more dangerous quarantine that could be happening is the positivity quarantine. People saying throughout this quarantine, throughout this pandemic, throughout this time that we're going through, they're only going to be positive. They're only going to think positive thoughts. They're only going to look for the silver lining. No matter what happens to go wrong, they're only going to look at the silver lining. Some guy in my therapy group says, yeah, that's his goal, is just to be positive. And you'll see memes that are actually being made fun of right now in a pretty hilarious way of, the coronavirus, like a cartoon of a coronavirus talking to the earth, and the coronavirus says to the earth, hey, do you think they got the message? Like, hey, humans, stop using all your fossil fuels and transportation. We got to heal the earth. Just looking for the silver lining, which to me just smacks of complacency. And I think what's really going on here is a philosophical error. The philosophical error being one of a false dichotomy, that you can only be positive or negative. And if you're negative, it's necessarily not positive. And if you're positive, it's necessarily not negative. But I think if we look at emotions for what they are, we see that positivity and negativity are really just two sides of the same coin. Well, first, some other examples is, this is something that I see, not in response to the quarantine or the coronavirus, but this is what I see a lot with young men, is the idea that I shouldn't be depressed. I don't have the right to be depressed. Look at what all my ancestors went through. And I may say more about this on Animus Air this week. Look what all my ancestors went through. What right do I have to feel depressed? I shouldn't feel depressed. I'm going to make myself be happy. But when you do that to hint at really how to manage your emotions, you lose some vital information that may be in the depression. People say this in response to the quarantine. This is something that bad leaders say all the time, is it could be worse. Oh, the economic downturn is a result of the quarantine. Hey, it could be a lot worse. Yeah, of course it could be a lot worse. It could also be a lot better. And I think by you focusing on, hey, it could be a lot worse, you're in a sense distracting yourself from what you could do to make it better. And yeah, I mentioned the guy in my the therapy group is only going to be positive for the next 30 days or something, which isn't even a good thing to do. Research has borne this out. Look, if you want to accept the positivity negativity dichotomy, which I don't, but if you do want to accept that, then being positive all the time still isn't the best thing to do. Research bears this out. You want to be positive. Yeah, people who are healthiest psychologically are positive to negative in about a 3-to-1 ratio. For every 3 positive things you say, to be the healthiest psychologically, you say about 1 negative thing. Again, if you want to accept that dichotomy, that's a good way to go about instituting your own quarantine, your own positivity quarantine. But I think there's something more important that we can learn here. And look, people have noticed this. I'm not the first one to say, there's a dark side to positivity. People have noticed this, but they tend to flip to the other side and go, well, it's neither good nor bad to be negative or positive. So what the positive psychologists do is they put all the value on positivity, but people have flipped the script and say, well, there's no value in any emotional expression whatsoever. So positive, negative, whatever, it's all the same. And I think that makes a similar opposite error. There is value in our emotions, not in the emotion itself, but in how we express it. This is a fairly complicated topic. I'll sum it up. But what I just heard Michael Jordan say in The Last Dance documentary that's airing right now. God, Michael Jordan's so sweet. He doesn't say this explicitly, but essentially his attitude towards emotions regarding his teammates is, you can cry, but you can't whine. And I think that's a pretty good way of saying it. But why does psychology do this? Why is it when you break your arm and you go to the doctor, he doesn't tell you to just be positive? Why doesn't he do that? And because he doesn't do that, do we think that he's negative in any way? No. But why? It's because he understands how the body works. He understands if you have a broken arm, he knows what to do. It's not about being positive or negative. It's about working with what he knows how to do, like working with how to actually fix the arm. And that's why we have this positivity, negativity dichotomy in psychology. It's because we simply don't understand what psychology is. We don't understand what emotions are. So of course we're going to come up with these crazy psychological quarantines of, I'm only going to be positive for the next 30 days because you don't understand what's going on. But if we understood how our psychology works, how emotions work, what's really going on, you wouldn't do this. And this is what we do here at Animas, of course. The goal, it's not to be positive or negative. It's to be reality oriented. And I would argue this can only come from managing our emotions. And we can only manage our emotions in the proper way when we can understand exactly what our emotions are. And I know people, especially in psychology, don't like the S word. But yes, there is a structure to our emotions. There's a way that they work. And when we understand how they work, we can understand exactly how to talk about them. So we can talk about negative stuff, perhaps, in a positive way, and we don't get all the repression and negative behaviors, the truly negative, not negative so much, but destructive behaviors that happen as a result of that. And that's what we do here at Animas. That's what we've done to psychology. If you don't believe me, I don't blame you. animasempire.com/ebooks. Ebook. Well, just go to the ebooks tab, animasempire.com. And if you want to talk to somebody, reach out, figure out what you can do to improve your psychology. animasempire.com/schedule. We do free 30-minute consultations, and I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend, and always remember that when you're being negative, it can be positive, as long as you do it in the right way.